pleasure and honor for me to be here, and very pleased to be invited to be here. And always great to meet young people. That's why we do what we do. Somebody asked me earlier today, what's the part of your job that you like the most? And it's working with the players, being with the young people. They said, you like it more than winning? I said, absolutely, because that's what makes winning worthwhile, is the relationships that you develop with people on your team and see them be a team. And that's really what's the most rewarding thing about what we do. So I don't know if anybody has any questions or anything. Just glad to be here.
Coach, obviously in Jackson, Tennessee, you got a kid named Jabril Washington.
Right.
Saw some significant time in the A-Day game. Can you measure his progress since he's been there and where he has to go to be a contributor?
Well, Jabril has done a really good job for us. He was an offensive player that we moved last year to defense. So, and I think he played a lot more offense in high school than he did defense. And when we do that to players, it usually takes them a little bit of time to sort of develop and get the feel for it. And I thought he showed some nice progress this spring.
How does the entire team look coming out of the spring? You know, because I know you lost a lot on the line specifically.
You know, we're the biggest thing that I'm concerned about is, you know, every year you have to sort of reinvent your team. And what I mean by that is people have new roles, there's new opportunities for people on your team, but yet a lot of people on the team are in a comfort zone and very comfortable being what they were last year. Well, you know, we had 9 guys drafted and 3 guys signed as free agents. We only had 9 seniors and 3 guys go out early for the draft. So we lost 12 really good players. And there's opportunities for someone else, but a lot of those good players were great leaders, like Barrett Jones and the captains that we had on our team. So now somebody else has to assume a new role. And I think that's why I say you have to reinvent your team. You're trying to reinvent the leadership of your team, as well as the chemistry on offense, defense, and special teams. And, you know, when you have success, I think the most challenging thing is to get people not to feel entitled and stay hungry to continue to be successful. You know, you can be motivated by fear, or you can be motivated by incentives, but I think with us, we have to be motivated because we just want to be the best and continue to be the best, and not be the team that's not the best anymore. And that's a little more difficult for some people to buy into or realize.
Coach, how important is it for you during the off season to come out and help raise money for scholarships?
Well, I think that we like to create opportunities for young people. You know, this university here obviously creates a lot of opportunity for a lot of people, and we're glad to be supporting that cause. I mean, Terry and I, through Nick's Kids and other charities, have given away over $3 million since we've been in Alabama. We built 15 houses and give quite a bit of money to first-generation scholarships at our university, so that people who qualify to get in but otherwise couldn't go, and are the first people in their family to go to school, get an opportunity. So I think that's one of the things that we really try to pride ourselves in, is to set an example that somebody else wants to emulate in terms of how we serve our community and how we give back and what we do to help young people, because that's really why we coach.
Coach, to build on the last 2 questions that you've had, you are an international celebrity, national. Everything you do gets watched. You got a recent photo bomb out where you stood up in an audience. I don't know if you've seen that photo or not, but
I don't get on the internet.
it's graduation. It's a good picture. You got to look at it. So how do you, with all the demands on your time, for charity work, things like this, all the things that you do, specifically, how do you stay focused? How do you stay strong in order to keep all the kids motivated to coach football and to be something to your family?
Well, you know, I think that, you know, Michael Jordan says that no matter how many game-winning shots I make, the only one that matters is the next one. And I think that's kind of how I feel about what we do, whether it's in the community, whether it's with our family. Stay in the present moment, try to be the best that you can be at what you're trying to do, try to influence and set a good example for other people, show you care, and appreciate what they do to try to help you be successful, which we have a lot of people who contribute to our success. So it's easy for me because, you know, in our business, you're only kind of as good as your last play. You're only as good as your last game. So we're always trying to find a better way. And it's very challenging. It's much more challenging, you know, people always say it's the most difficult to win the first championship, much more difficult to repeat. Because the challenges are greater in terms of how you motivate the people. You know, people, when things go bad, usually don't have any trouble getting motivated. They don't have any trouble changing. They don't have any trouble being humble. They don't have any trouble serving others. But when things go well, sometimes we don't have our best days. Right? And that's when you really got to challenge yourself to remember what got you there and to continue to try to do the things you need to do to develop the kind of habits in your organization that are going to help you to continue to be successful.
Coach, this newly announced SEC network that was announced last week really broadens the net for a lot of fans and for potential recruits. I know you can't really deal with that, but for the league in general, and it's already a talent-rich environment and fortune-rich environment, are the rich just going to keep getting richer? How does this do for the schools and for Alabama?
Well, I think first of all, it's great for the student athletes. I think they're going to get in all sports. I mean, we're going to have a lot of our women's tennis team and women's basketball team and women's softball team, golf. You know, every sport is going to get attention on this network, which I think is, you know, really good for the student athletes, and it's good for our fans who have interest in other sports besides just football, basketball, or whatever. So I think it's a real positive thing for the Southeast. I think it's a real positive thing for the Southeastern Conference because I really think it's going to be the greatest benefit to the student athletes.
Coach, last season you became only the 4th coach to win 4 national titles in the modern era. What kind of milestone success are you wanting to achieve next?
Just to get our team this year to be as good as they can be. And that's really kind of the goal that I have every year. You know, our goals are not about results. You know, most people think goals are results. You know, if I ask a wide receiver, what's your goal? And he says, I want to catch 100 passes. I said, that's not a goal, that's a result. I'd rather hear him say, I want to be the best player I can be at my position. I want to be a complete player at my position. And that's how I feel about being the coach. You know, I want to get the best out of every person on our team and in our organization and get them to play well together as a group, be positive in terms of how they invest their time to try to accomplish the goals that they have for themselves, be responsible and accountable to do the things they need to do for the team. And it takes a lot of hard work. So, you know, those are the things that I try to focus on. And I think if we can get that accomplished, we'll have a really good team and we'll have an opportunity to possibly play for, you know, a championship, you know, whether it's our division, the SEC, or, you know, wherever that takes us.
How hard
One more question? Yeah.
How hard is it to change that mindset for an incoming freshman? Because everybody is so results driven in our society, and then you get them to come in and just focus on the process.
Well, it's difficult because we're trying to do it with a bunch of guys that have really relied on nothing but talent. Because most of the guys that we have, they haven't had to be that way to be successful. You know, they've been more talented, faster, stronger, whatever, than maybe the people that they played against. So it's even more difficult to convince them that they need to pay attention to detail so that they can be more successful and do things more correctly and be more process-oriented, because they never really had to.
Coach, early visit to College Station next year. Any difference from playing them late? You got to play them eventually. What are your thoughts on playing them in September?
Well, I think it is what it is. I mean, we have to play our games one game at a time. The most important game we have right now is Virginia Tech, which is our first game in Atlanta. Obviously, the first conference game is always really important, and we have a tremendous amount of respect for Texas A&M. They beat us last year, and we're going to have to do a really good job in preparation to be able to play well on the road early in the season to play against a very good team.
we've got to go, we realized about, Coach, can we let one of our student athletes ask the last question, or is they want to?
When you're recruiting student athletes, is there any other criteria you look for besides student or athletic ability?
Absolutely. We have three things that we measure. Attitude, intelligence, and character is one category. Size and speed for your position is a category, and then athletic ability to play your position. And we have critical factors that we define that are important for every position, and then we break down the physical abilities that you need to do to be able to sort of accomplish the critical factors. So, but character and intelligence and attitude are very important, because regardless of what your talent or your ability is, if you don't have those components, you'll never come close to reaching your full potential.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thank you.